nodules. I'm Raji. You all might recognize me. I'm an old friend of the doctor's. About 10 years ago, I went for black market silicone injections. You know, make myself a little more feminine and bring out the girl that was inside of me, match my insides with my outsides. Unfortunately, I had a horrible reaction in my face. And then all hell broke loose. It's hard enough being a transgendered woman in this world, but try being transgender with a distorted face. The first time I met the doctors, they really felt like they weren't able to do any sort of surgery. A year later, I get that phone call from Dr. Dubrow, and then he says to me, I think I figured out a way. And I ended up having surgeries.
What was that noise?
Concrete. I had a saw.
Yikes.
It was fantastic. I mean, I literally had a new face. I've been an activist for like 18 years now, but my goodness, after my surgery, it just seemed like my platform got so much bigger. I am the face of Miami AIDS Walk, and I received the 2016 Transgender Equality Award. So I was flying high for the last year. Life was just phenomenal. But one morning, I was washing my face, and I felt a little tiny lump. And within a week, I could see it. I was like, oh no, they're back. That really freaked me out. And now my eyes are pulling down a little bit by the new lumps. So I reached out to Dr. Dubrow, and literally in less than 2 minutes, he was calling me back. And he's like, don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of this. You're coming back out here. They did it before, and I know that they're gonna do it again.
How did you do on your trip?
Well, we took the kids.
Where'd you go?
Aspen.
Okay.
About 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I start to feel really nauseous. And I swear on my life what I'm about to tell you is true. I thought, what would Paul do? Paul would go to the ER and get an IV.
Exactly.
So we call the paramedics to take me to the ER. The doctor says, this is acute altitude sickness. He says, what's your nausea? I said, it's a 12 out of 10. It's a 12 out of 10. I can't take this. And he gives me 1 dose of Ativan, and I said, it's a 7 out of 10. And he goes, okay, he gives me another dose of Ativan, and all of a sudden, it's a 0. And Heather has a video of me.
I'm very I don't feel
Oh, he doesn't feel good. He got altitude sickness.
And you know what? Through my sickness, I've strangely developed the ability to speak Italian. Are you ready? I don't feel good.
The Ativan has kicked in.
Had it not been for you, I would have spent another 2 hours trying to get better on my own. So thank you for being a sissy, because it really helped me.
I love being a sissy.
Yeah.
Terry likes to bust my chops, but when push comes to shove, he's just as much of a wuss as I am. What do we have, my good brother of love?
So remember Raji?
Of course.
We were concerned about waking a sleeping dragon.
More granulomas, yeah.
The dragon is awake.
Anytime you operate on a patient with granulomas, especially on the face, there's a high likelihood that they're going to come back. So it's no surprise to me that Raji is back.
Just bring her in.
Can you please sit in, Raji?
Hey!
You are. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. When I first felt the nodules, I felt like, damn it, like they set me off with this beautiful face, and like I let them down, and now here I am again. I'm washing my face in the morning, and I feel a little nodule. And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna get worked up. Maybe it's nothing. I waited about a week, and the nodule had gotten substantially bigger.
In 1 week?
In 1 week. Now what I'm finding is like there's little ones.
Okay, and these nodules that you currently have are not getting larger anymore.
No.
Okay, that's good. The question is, what do we do? Is it as significant a procedure potentially as it was before? Because that was really significant. I remember your anatomy like it was yesterday. So I know what the inside of you looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think you're the only guy. The only guy that has ever admitted to that.
I know the inside of you.
Yeah, that wasn't the best choice of words.
What causes them to keep coming back?
Part of the problem is that I had to leave some of the foreign body in there because the concern, of course, was that we would activate the granulomatous response, the inflammatory condition. Obviously, we got away with it for a period of time, but the immune system, whose job it is to do surveillance on this foreign body, decided to reactivate. What I'm hoping is if we go back in there, that whatever I left,
You can remove.
I can remove.
And that'll be it.
Why don't we go in, have a look, and see how inflamed things are. Hopefully, they're in a place right now where they're sort of, we can do something about it rather than having you live like this again. Okay?
That
All right.
sounds good.
Where was the first one that developed?
Okay, so the first one was, it was like right in here.
See, this one is pretty superficially located in the skin.
And that's the one that you touched before.
By the way, this is exactly where I was before. The good news is that they're soft. They're not tender, they're not inflamed, and they feel optimally ready to have another surgical procedure potentially. What we did before is we had a very well-defined plan that was based on an experiment we did in the chin that worked.
Right.
I just don't think there's a reason to deviate from that
I hear
plan.
you.
It was one thing before it was injected with concrete.
Yeah, right.
Now there's all the scarring from my surgery. It's even riskier than it was before.
I see.
So mix concrete with surgical scarring, and it's a war zone inside of your face.
Wow. Oh boy. Raji, you better get prepared.
Have you noticed your eyes are sort of falling down?
I did notice
Yeah.
that.
So what I propose, if you want to go down this road with us again, is to raise up the corners and get those back up because it's starting to look like this, okay?
Sounds like you're doing part 2.
Yeah, I think it's part 2.
But I'm
two?
just
For part
praying
2,
and
huh?
Part 2?
Well, let's part 2 this, all right?
Like this third time being the charm, I really do kind of believe it. Like I think this might just be it for my face.
Well, I just hope there's no surprises when I get in there.
Because you know I am
because
full of surprises.
I know.
I'm a
by the
girl
way,
full of many
I
surprises.
know.
Hi. Welcome back.
Ah, thank you. So here to check in for surgery. I am hopeful that this surgery is gonna pretty much give me back what I had this last year. It was such a good year. And you know, I want more. I want more.
How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you. How do you feel about this?
Good.
First of all, I want to say this is never a great sign when your chart's starting to get really thick.
Oh my God.
You're almost a volume 2, okay? Raji's case for me has been sort of the instruction manual as to how to deal with these complex granulomatous. And up until this point, only a few doctors have really tried to tackle this. So this is a really unique experience, both to help Raji and how potentially to help even more people. So, sort of surgical technique, stay central. Stay deep, but not too deep.
Too deep.
Don't get too close to the skin surface and cut off the blood supply. Don't go too deep and interfere with the motor nerves.
Kind of right there in the
Right
middle.
there, baby, right?
Yeah, right where that.
Right, right.
We'll call it the pleasure zone.
That's-
Right there in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do this. Give me a hug. I really, really like Raji. We formed a special bond over the years, and it's sort of me against these masses. So it's game on. Let's go for it and get them out of there in a very safe, deliberate way. I will start Raji's surgery by making incisions in her upper eyelids and perform a lateral canthoplasty that will raise the corner of her eyelids. Next, I'll go through her previous incision scars and elevate the skin off her cheekbones, exposing the masses and carefully debulking them. Finally, I'll perform a facelift which will tighten her skin and give her back the face she's loved over the past year. All right, so we're gonna start with the eyes because I'm concerned if we start with the cheeks, there'll be a lot of swelling and it'll obscure the fine dissection we need to do around the eyes, so we'll start there. There are facial planes that are fused together by a combination of previous surgery, scar tissue from that, and the reemergence of these active nodules. This is a completely different operative experience. Main trunk of the facial nerve has 5 branches. Everywhere Raji has a mass is where each of the main branches of the facial nerve are. This one is going to the forehead, and if I cut the nerve to the forehead, she won't be able to raise her eyebrow. This case is dangerous. With Raji's surgery, my major concern is that I will hit one of the main motor nerves in the face, which will leave her with very significant facial paralysis, which will be very disabling. That's very intimidating. Passing an electric current through these nodules is shrinking them really nicely. So I've got a new way of reducing these nodules and making Raji's operation work. So we elevated the corner of the eyelids, removed the bulk of the masses, gave her a little bit of a touch-up facelift at the same time. Thank you very much. That was a real test.
Hi, don't I know you? Don't I know you?
Hello, young lady. The mouth works. I like it. I got very little sleep last night because I had to go very deep in Raji's face where all of the nerves and blood supply is. But I immediately can see that there's no nerve injuries. Thank goodness. All right. First, I elevated up the corner of the lids. Then the real action started, okay? I made an incision and I had 5 masses in there. So if you take a device called electrocautery to it, it kind of and melts it down. I took the cautery device and went like that. Now,
So you barbecued me last
basically, it was a Raji kill.
Barbecues are so fun, and Raji's fun. You know, I think it's perfect.
There we go. So you're gonna still feel some of this, remember, but you're not gonna see any of that.
I've come so far, and I feel like, you know, after having this surgery, if things are going the way I think they're going, it's gonna mean even more freedom for me.
Okay, so
Yes.
seems good, right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Look, I can tell you something. I'm so familiar with the inside of you now, Raj.
Yes,
that if
you
I have to go
are.
back in,
It'd just be another wild Saturday night.
that's right. And Raji's a big deal.
I'm an activist at heart, and I really believe to the core of me that's one of my divine purposes here on the planet. The fact that I am being acknowledged by Lavender Effect for being a pioneer in the trans community, it's just an awesome feeling.
For those that don't know, the Lavender Effect is advancing the future of LGBTQ history and culture. I have the wonderful, wonderful privilege of introducing Raji today. Raji, will you please come up?
When I look at the mirror now, really, I see a beautiful, smooth face. And I mean, look at me. As a transgender person, we definitely need groups like this in the world. I mean, the work that you all are doing is just phenomenal. Going through all of the pain that I've gone through and being able to share that with people has given me more purpose, because I have heard literally from people from all walks of life. Every human being on the planet can relate to strife and struggle. There were moments that I really didn't feel like I belonged here. Truth is, we all are unique. We all have something that makes us stand out. Before my surgery, my nodules distorted my face and weighed down my eyelids. And now I have a smooth face and my eyes are lifted. I look beautiful as ever, and I look forward to spreading my message of equality until every single human being on the planet feels the love that the doctor showed me. I love you guys. Love you so much.